Good late Friday evening. I'm certified meteorologist Nick Kelly checking in on this May 31st of 2019. It was nice to end the month on a quiet note, but unfortunately, with all the rain we've picked up, especially over the past 2 weeks, this has been our second wettest May on record. If the official numbers get finalized tomorrow, we'll have a look and see how things fared, but let's start with where we've been on this final day of the month of May. We had a pretty quiet day all around. Quiet skies this morning, a few areas with some patchy fog, and throughout the day a bit of a smoky haze to the sky. That's because wildfire smoke up in Canada was carried our way with the jet stream winds. That's what gave some of you a little bit of a hazy look to the sky. Otherwise, we kept things nice and quiet all day, thanks to Indigo Sky by the by, for our look throughout the course of the day. 10:34 from 7th and Range Line, looking quiet on this Friday night, and thankfully we stay quiet tonight and to at least start your Saturday out. Unfortunately, come late afternoon into Saturday night, that is when our next front will work in. That will give us severe thunderstorm chances to keep an eye on. Thankfully, it doesn't last for the entire weekend. Aside from maybe a few random thunderstorms before sunrise Sunday, we'll have a quiet and warm day to enjoy to wrap up the weekend. Then the active part of Doug's pattern returns once again with more thunderstorm chances looking to line up once again. Looking at the official almanac for today at Joplin Regional, we topped out at 83 after starting a bit on the chilly side at 56 degrees. Normally we should be starting at 61, but we did manage to top out just a hair above normal for this time of the year, with the average high being 82. Last check of the currents we had from Joplin Regional had the airport sitting at 70 degrees with an east-southeast breeze at 3. Humidity kind of high again, but not too terribly high like it was the past few nights. That led to some patchy fog. It's sitting at 73%. Otherwise, temperatures outside of the city limits of Joplin had everybody's staying pretty mild. Just before we hit the 11 o'clock hour, 68 in Pittsburgh, Fort Scott, Iola, 69 in Parsons, 73 in Independence. Everybody right in between those two numbers, so we're still sitting mild but quiet as we head into this late Friday night, early Saturday morning. The Skywatch Storm Tracker getting a break before we see this get a bit of a workout as we head into Saturday afternoon and Saturday night. At the very least, again, we kept things nice and quiet all day, not just in our area, but across much of the four-state region. In fact, you have to venture north to see hints of our next storm system ready to work in. You see that with the thunderstorms that popped up during the day in parts of South Dakota and Nebraska. That is actually our next cold front waiting to work in from the north. Again, we stay ahead of it for the most part tomorrow, so we'll have another warm day before it starts to work in, but we'll have that cold front work together with an upper-level disturbance being triggered by this upper-level low at the jet stream level. That disturbance will be running right along the jet and working in here. That will work together with our cold front to give us our next shot for scattered thunderstorms Saturday. Let's time these out with the future track. Again, we're quiet for the rest of the night, and especially to start your Saturday morning out. I don't think temperatures get too chilly this time around. I think we'll only be dropping back into the lower to middle 60s. I think most of us around 63, 64 degrees. Not looking like a crazy start to your Saturday. Future track underestimating the cloud cover. I think will be partly sunny by lunchtime, but we'll still be dry as we get Saturday afternoon underway with everybody in the lower 80s. But we'll be keeping an eye on this cold front as it begins to work in from the north, because between 2 and 4 o'clock, that is when that front will work together with our warm, moist, and unstable air mass, along with that upper-level disturbance passing through. That will be triggering scattered thunderstorms along and just ahead of the cold front. These initially could be producing quite a bit of hail, maybe potentially up to golf ball size, and then the storms are expected to congeal into a line or a complex or two and just sink to the south as our front sinks to the south as well. So we'll be keeping an eye on thunderstorm chances late Saturday afternoon and into your Saturday night. Again, we'll have a warm day before the storm chances really get going. 64 in the morning, 81 by noon with the southwest breeze kicking in at 5 to 15, and then southwest winds at 10 to 20 before the storms get going. Should allow highs to top out around 86 degrees. So we'll be keeping an eye on thunderstorms late in the day going into your Saturday evening. Thankfully, as this front continues to sink south, we'll be putting an end to our thunderstorm chances, I think no later than midnight going into Sunday morning, and then we should be looking nice and quiet overall as we wrap up the weekend on Sunday. But we will have to deal with a low to elevated severe threat across much of the area as we proceed throughout your Saturday again. The main timing for the strongest storms will be between 2 in the afternoon to about midnight Sunday. Thankfully, with this setup, the tornado threat is not looking very impressive. We'll keep it low, because we can't always rule out a random tornado or two. I think the biggest threats with these storms tomorrow will be elevated threats of large hail, high wind, and unfortunately more heavy rain that we just don't need. So we'll have to keep an eye out for some flash flooding concerns that could try to arise once again. If there are any thunderstorm chances for your Sunday, it's before sunrise, and even then, maybe a stray storm or two. But we'll keep things quiet for your Sunday. We'll start at 63, top out around 79 degrees. I think we'll be mostly cloudy for Monday with another disturbance at the jet stream level sneaking in, with part of that active pattern returning. We should make it to at least 76 degrees on Monday, and then with a little more sunshine, despite thunderstorm chances returning by midweek into the end of next week, we should be staying warm with highs in the lower to middle 80s. Have a good night, have a great Saturday, and we'll keep an eye on the skies when thunderstorms get going for your Saturday afternoon and Saturday night.